fitness journey with you. You know, both successes and struggles that I had. And so I'm currently 48 years old. I just turned 48 at the end of May. And for the better part of my adult life, from my early 20s up until I was 44, until I decided to get fit, I was always, I was overweight, and continually gaining weight year over year until I got morbidly obese. I ended up starting my journey at over 350 pounds. And I'm only, like 5'6.5", maybe, right, with some good shoes. It started when we were pregnant with our oldest daughter. I wasn't always I wasn't always obese, but we were early 20s, started stressing out. I mostly stress ate. And I was never a big chocolate or sweet person, but what I ate, it was not in moderation, right? It was nervous eating. It was bored eating. Like I call it bored eating, like sitting in front of the TV, eating chips. You're not hungry. You had dinner like a half hour ago, but you just, that I did a lot of that. Drank a lot of soda. So I ate a lot of whatever, it was, and it wasn't chocolate or sweet. But my big three that I call my big three kryptonites was in this order: bread, potatoes, and rice. What I mean by bread was, we at our local supermarket out here in Los Angeles, they cook fresh bread, like it's freshly cooked at 4 o'clock or something, right? So on your way home, you can kind of pick up a big loaf of French bread for like $1.30 or $1.40. I pick up 2, and before I got home, it wasn't that far, I ate a whole loaf. This was 2-3 times a week, and then the other loaf I'd bring home for us, right? For me and for the wife and kids. So that's the kind of stuff I was doing, was eating a lot like that, mashed potatoes, loaded baked potatoes with everything, and but just not in moderation, and kept gaining weight. At some point, I stopped going to get physicals. Like I didn't want to know how much I weighed, because I knew I was fat. I didn't want to know, right? If I didn't know, I really wasn't that fat, right? I mean, that's how it works. Stopped going to get physicals because of that, but I'd go every like it ended up being like every 5 years or so. My wife's like, you got to go get a physical. And so when I did, I would then see how much more weight I gained from the last time. My doctor's like, man, like, dude, like you're moving the wrong direction, And from a doctor's perspective, they're always going to say that. But it was true. But I knew I was getting fatter because my clothes stopped fitting, right? They'd get tight. Like they'd be okay. They're brand new. And then they would get tighter and tighter and tighter until I can't wear them anymore. Like I look like, 10 pounds of sausage in a 5-pound, in a 5-pound bag. It wasn't working. So I'd get bigger clothes and bigger clothes. It cost more money. Like I had to do whole suits and everything. And got to where I was obese. And then, I tried the diets. I tried Atkins, which I was somewhat successful for. I tried some crash stuff, starving. For those of you old enough to remember Fin-Fin, I don't know if you heard of Fin-Fin back in the day. It was actually a prescription from your doctor, and it curbed your appetite, and it worked. But there was a bunch of, they ended up pulling it off the market because there was like some health issues, like with the heart and stuff like that. People were dying over the thing. And I actually got so upset at my doctor when I couldn't get a prescription refilled. I'd take that chance, But, looking back, at the time, those were all diets. And when I hear diet now, I think it implies there's going to be an end. So when you diet, it's like, oh, my diet's almost over, or, so what are you going to do then when the diet's over? Like, going to go back to where you were? So to me, it's not a diet. Like now it's a total I don't want to say lifestyle change. It's how I am today, from where I started. But what really got me to start was our youngest daughter was graduating high school in 2013. My oldest daughter graduated in 2011. She was already away at college. Our youngest was graduating high school, and I was big involved in their sports, softball, high school for 4 years, tennis for 4 years. I was a booster president. I was doing all this stuff year round, and I had so many hours consumed in it, and I did. But I made a commitment with my wife because they were turning into young ladies, and I wanted to be around to see them grow up, get married, have grandkids. And at 44, if I kept up the way I was, I probably wouldn't be around very long. I'd probably be around still now, maybe, but not long term. And that's what really kind of motivated me, was like, I want to be around like longer. I staved off, I don't know how I did it, but no major physical ailments, except I did have sleep apnea. All right. So I had to use a CPAP device when I was obese, but like no diabetes, no, no joint problems. I mean, I don't know how I did that. But if I hadn't changed, I for sure would have ran into something like that. I would have, had some issues. But that's what really got me motivated to start. So my wife and I started hiking here in Southern California, beautiful trails out here. And somebody, a friend of ours, suggested a trail that we go to, and it's not that far from our house. It's a quick 5-minute drive, 2-minute drive in town. And the trail is like this. It's about like this for about 2 miles. So it was like, okay, I couldn't even get a quarter mile without having to stop. Like my heart felt like it was going to like beat out of my chest. I was going to have a heart attack. We'd stop, rest. And it was, just even get to the half-mile marker where there's a bench there that kind of overlooks the valley. It took us forever to get there and stopping, and I was sweating. And it's like, what am I doing here? And we did that for a long time, but about a month into that is when I said, you know what, I'm gonna try P90X3. I saw the commercial that everybody else does. Let me try this out. And I got resistance bands. Hey, I'm gonna do this, right? I couldn't even do one push-up. Forget getting a pull-up bar. Like I knew I wasn't even gonna try that, right? I mean, it was unrealistic at the time. But hey, let me try P90X. And so some of the workout stuff, yeah, I was sore, but some of the other ones like plyometrics, if you guys do P90X, right, there's some ones that you kind of move around, and it's like, they're about 50-minute each for P90X, and, they would take it through, because I'd pause it, sit down, like, Tony, you're killing me, dude. Like, okay, let me go ahead and hit play again. Let me go ahead and do it a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna pause it. I got through the 90 days, lost about 27 pounds. It worked, but I just like, I can't do, like, there's no way. Like, I'm still 330 plus pounds. So the P90X3, that was my go-to. I didn't know at the time, but it was more a mindset of, hey, it's 30 minutes. I can commit to 30 minutes, right? And did that. And again, some of the stuff there didn't take me longer than 30 minutes, but I got better and better at it to where I didn't have to pause it. And that first year, I did 4 rounds of the P90X3. And that first year, I lost 100 pounds. Now, it wasn't all P90X3, right? I'm not going to say, hey, do this workout, you're going to lose 100 pounds. I also had to make, the big N-word change. I had to make the big nutrition change because, and it was tough at first, right? Because I felt like I was starving, but it was really my mind like saying, dude, man, like you're supposed to be eating more than this. Like, where's the fourth meal? Where's the midnight meal? Where's the snacks at? And I had to train my body, or train my mind to be like, no, I'm good. Like, this is it. This is our food. Whatever that is, this is enough, and that was a big challenge for me. And it wasn't easy, but I saw the results of me losing the weight each round of P90X3 and losing weight. And now these big clothes that I had, right now they're fitting loose. I got to go get the bags out of the garage that we didn't take to Goodwill yet, or Salvation Army, and go get some of the older clothes I had that now were fitting better, and so that's what kind of kept me going. Like, this is working. Like, yeah, and I didn't, so many times when I tried these diets, right, I would sabotage myself. Oh, I've lost 5 pounds. I can have this day. I can have this meal, this cheat meal, or I can have this cheat day. I can treat myself. That's what I told myself. And like, no, you can't, and it's not like I was, neglecting myself or holding something back. It was like, my focus was to get down. And my initial focus when I started wasn't to get down to my high school weight. It was to get out first. My first big milestone was to get out of the 300 club, is what me and my brother called it. He was in the 200 club, and when he got there before I did back in the day, he said, you don't ever want to be in the 200 club. That's 200 plus pound club. And then I got to 300 club, and that's a club he never was in. But I wanted to get out of 300 club, and that was my first goal. So when I hit 299 pounds, couldn't tell you how great that felt. It's like, I am no longer 300 pounds. I'm 2 something now. And then my next milestone was like 275, and then 250, and then, 225. And, as I started working with it, and then I got to T25 after the P90X3, and again, because it's 25 minutes, right? It was to me, it was mental. It was like, hey, I can do 25 minutes. Love Sean T. Love Tony Horton. And I know it's not for everybody, and we'll talk about Beachbody in a man, but but I know, and everybody kind of, migrates towards them, but they worked for me. And so then I started doing a hybrid. Okay, so then I did the P90X in the morning or T25 in the morning and the other one in the evening, because I had 2 DVD sets, right? So I was kind of, hey, let me do both workouts, and now I'm down below 250. I'm working my way to 225, and like I've got some energy, and like, yeah, I can do this, So my workouts became more and more. And during that time as well too, now I started to, because I can now, started to jog as far as I could, and then I walk, and then got it to where I could jog without walking or stomping. And then now at, where I'm at now though, right, it's night and day, but I guess people call me a runner. I don't know if I call myself one, but now I run. And I do 25 to 35 miles a week. I participate in 10Ks and half marathons. I took first place in my age group here locally about a month ago in one. I've got a half marathon coming up in August here locally. The big Disney, because we're in Southern California, Disney has half marathons all the time, but it's the Disney superhero one, like the Avenger one coming up in November that I'm signed up for. It's already sold out. You got to sign up as soon as it opens. And so I can do that now because of the Beachbody stuff and getting down to that weight, right? So that's the workouts, and so being at losing the weight, getting down to then out of the 200 club, when I got to about 220 is when it really hit me that I could actually get down to my high school weight. I never thought I would. I figured, let me get it down to maybe 225, 220. I'll still be big, but I'll be healthy, But when I got down to about 220 is when I really thought, and I realized I could honestly make it a goal now to get down to my high school weight. And so that's what I did. That was my focus in at that, right? And again, didn't sabotage with my eating, because now I had another laser focused goal to do that. Wasn't starving myself, right? So with my nutrition, I started originally counting calories when I was, the first 100 pounds. I was, use my Fitness Pal and swag stuff. Like, I don't know how much this thing weighs, or how many calories this thing has. I wasn't going to weigh food. But whatever I gave the value, that was the value I gave it all the time. And I got into a routine of eating. Morning was like, barley, and then it was like salad and fish, and then maybe chicken, but it became predictable. It was easy that way for me. So I knew how many calories in a day I was taking. I kind of stuck to that. Then I started like sticking to like the Beachbody portion control or portion fix containers. For those who don't like counting calories, because I don't, that made it easy because you just get your macros in. Hey, I need, this many protein red. I need this many greens. I need this many purples. It made it much easier to account for your foods. And then the Shakeology, of course, the nutrients, working out that much, you got to get yourself protein back. So that was important for me to be able to at least get one shake a day. And depending on my workouts, like even today, depending on my workouts and my runs, if I run a 12-mile trail that takes me 3 hours just because it's like this, I'll have 2 shakes that day. It's just because my body's like screaming, and I kind of know what my body, I kind of know now when I'm hungry and when I'm really like bored, and if I think I'm bored, I'll drink a big thing of water. I drink about 100 ounces of water a day. And I know it's counterintuitive. I don't know how much water the group drinks. You guys talk about that, but I always thought when I started losing weight or was on diets, like, I'm not gonna drink water because the first couple pounds is water weight. I don't want to drink water because I'm a way heavier. But really drinking 100 ounces a day, your body spends a lot of calories and energy to get it out. And so if you don't consume, I'd say at least, for average size women, if you don't at least consume 60 or 70 ounces a day, I'd say you probably need to work to get there. And it's not easy because water's not, it's not like, it can get boring. But lemon and stuff kind of helps, but I drink 100 ounces a day and I'm constantly going to the bathroom, and but it works. It really does. Your body needs it because you're sweating, you're working out, and you're doing that. And you do need that. So that's my spiel on water. Over that time, then I bought the T25. Then I went and did the P90X. No, I did Insanity, right? I said I can do Insanity now. And then I ended up getting. So now I have P90X. I have P90X2. I have P90X3. I did Insanity and Insanity Max 30, and then the Hardcore 22. or 22-minute hardcore. So, I invested all this money in the DVDs and stuff. And looking back now, it's like for as much DVDs as I have now, I don't know why I didn't do the Beachbody and the Man sooner. I have it now and I've had it, but it's a great way to, one, not have to carry your disc around, right? Like if you go traveling, I do it on my phone. I could do it in the park. I could do it at the gym. There's certain weight workouts for P90X. I could take it to the gym and follow along there, or I can cast it to my TV here at home and work out there. But like there's some workouts I haven't done, like the Core de Force. I've heard great things about it. Don't know if anybody here has done it. I want to try Core de Force. I want to try the Body Beast, which is all kind of like working out with weights and stuff like that. I haven't tried that, but it's probably stuff I wouldn't buy. Where the Beachbody on Demand gives me that option to stream it, and for $100 or if you catch it on a deal right now, it's less than what P90X, any of the P90Xs cost me. So anyway, that's that definitely is something to try. And I don't mind buying the disc, right? But to buy it and like I don't know if I'm gonna like it. At least now I get to kick the tires, with that. But getting down to my goal weight, and so I ended up, really finishing strong. And, I never thought when I started this journey that I'd be able to say I lost more weight than I currently weigh today. Right? I lost over 180 pounds. And right now I fluctuate between 170, 175, depending on, water weight and stuff like that. Right. But I weigh less than I lost. And that's crazy. Sometimes I think about that. I just smile because I never thought about it that way until someone pointed that out to me. And, but I mean, I went from a size 4X shirt. I don't know if you know how the sizes run, but there's like the small, medium, large, and then there's extra large, and then double X and triple X. And then it starts with actual numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was a size 4XL. That's how big that shirt was that I had. And I had a size 56-inch waist pant size. Now I'm a size 34-inch waist. I wear a regular large. I don't have to go to a special store to buy clothes. Like at that big, I'm not walking into Macy's or something buying some off the rack, right? I go to the men's extra tall, extra big and tall stores. They're home run prices because I can't get it anywhere else. Now I go buy stuff, whatever I want to go buy. I'm online, I see a shirt, I just order large. I know it's going to fit. I don't have to say like, well, who's the maker? Do they fit tight? It doesn't matter, But the struggles I had along the way was, the struggles I kind of talked about and how I kind of got started. And there were times where I wanted to quit, right? There were times I was up early in the morning, didn't want to work out, but still did it anyways. And I gave 100% of what my 100% for that day was. May not be my 100% every day or what my 100% should be, but I showed up and I gave it that, right? I didn't skip the workout, because you start skipping one workout and guess what? It's okay to skip two. And then before you know it, you're not even doing the program. You're just doing a la carte type stuff, So I always do the workout. I give up my 100% for that day, which may not be the same 100% it was yesterday or the same 100% it's going to be tomorrow, because I had a mission, right? And that mission was to be around for my daughters, be around for my wife, and so that was my why. Was I still want to be here today. I want to see them get married. I want to see them graduate high school. My youngest is in the Army. I want to see her move up the ranks in the Army. She's married, but I want maybe grandkids one day. Don't know what's in the plan, but I want to be there for that and not, have them lose a father because I refuse to take control of my fitness and do something about it, And I know some of you, the situation could be is where you could be in a household with a significant other or spouse or kids or whatever that aren't probably on the same page as you, right? Like you're trying to get, you're doing your thing, you're trying to eat healthy, and you're doing the workouts, but somebody else in the household's not. And they're the ones who bringing home chips and soda and stuff like that, and that's tough. And I sympathize and I get it, right? So you're having to make like 2 meals, right? Yours and then the rest of the families. So that stuff, what we got in my house was, my wife, because I made that change, she wanted to help me out. We stopped with the chips. I had stopped soda years before I even started my fitness journey. I already had cut out soda, but all that stuff we just don't buy. But if you're in that house that is, and it's around, you got to use that up here and say, I'm not going to do it. And one thing my wife told me, right, when I was still in that 100-pound, losing the first 100 pounds, and it still sticks with me today. She told me something. She said, she goes, like if I want a pizza or Doritos, I could power through a whole big Costco bag of Doritos like by myself, watching, whatever TV. She said, you don't need to eat that, honey, because you already know what it tastes like. So before you go grab that pizza or you go grab those chips or you want to drink the soda or you want to self-sabotage yourself, because I was a self-sabotager. Before you go to do that, just say, I already know what that tastes like. I don't need to eat it because I've eaten it before. Doesn't mean one day that you can't have a little bit of it. But if you're on if you're focused, stay the course. It would be my thing, right? If nothing else, the entire journey, and even today. So not only did I lose the 180 pounds in 20 months, I don't know for those on the call if you guys know that, lost it in 20 months, but it's been over 2 years now since I've kept it off. And I say that for your benefit, not mine, because I know I can keep it off. Like, to me, it's not a surprise now because, again, it's not like it wasn't a lifestyle. It wasn't a change where, like, when you hear change, like, oh, it's for the bad, or you got to change something so you may not get the full benefit, or maybe I'm cutting myself short somewhere else. It's that mindset of, this is the new me. This is how I do life now. This is how I do my fitness, right? So, but I've kept it off for 2 years with the Beachbody programs and still eating smart. So we go to a party, and we had a birthday party over the weekend, and yeah, of course there was cake, right? That, before I probably would have had 1 or 2 pieces, right? Didn't cut me a big piece, and I eat the whole thing, and probably drink it down with some soda. Today, this weekend I took a bite of my wife's. Oh, let me taste it. It looks good. It has strawberries in it. Let me have a bite. That's it. I don't need any more of that. Because again, remember, well, for me, I wasn't a big sweet person to begin with, right? So it wasn't hard for me not to do that. But even for my big stuff, my bread and everything else, right? So we do stuff creatively, like pizza, right? I'll have it every now and then, but it'll be cauliflower crust pizza. I don't know if you ever had that. It takes some getting used to. It's very thin, but it satisfies my jonesing for pizza, and it's way healthier. And I never liked cauliflower before, and I'm not a big fan, but I'll do it. Cauliflower mashed potatoes. Remember, I was a potato guy. Love mashed potatoes. Cauliflower mashers. It's that consistency. I get that feel of potatoes. I don't have it very often, but now I do more like yams, sweet potatoes. But I do it in the portion size, because I do need good carbs. I get most of my carbs from vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, and stuff like that. Is where I get the majority of my carbs. Plus my breakfast is I crock pot barley, whole barley. And I make enough for the week. I take a half a cup and half a banana, a little bit of almond milk, and that's my breakfast. But it's consistent. I've had it every day for the past 4+ years. But that's my consistency, right? That's me being consistent. I know how many calories that is, or how many calories I assign it. But to me, it's again about being consistent. So, but I also like it too, because that barley, real quick for my little spiel on barley, there's no barley by Beachbody, but I'll give you my spiel. Barley is very high on the glycemic index, where it basically, or it's low. I think it's low on the glycemic index, where basically it gives you a fuller feeling for a long period of time. So it's not like you eat something like junk food. It gives you that high, that immediate satisfaction, then you kind of crash down. You're hungry and you want some more. What it does is, when I eat that for breakfast, it keeps me satisfied all the way to lunch. Just that little half cup, and just because of how barley works. So not oatmeal, but barley. Anyways, that's my one thing is I eat barley every day. So, but yeah. So I mean, things I can do now. I talked about my running. I talked about, so now for my hybrid stuff for P90Xs or for my Beachbody workouts, I'll sometimes do, 2 workouts, right? So I may do a Insanity Max 30 and maybe something else, P90X3, or maybe I do, and I've been crazy, right, in the last 2 years of trying different stuff out. I've actually done like Insanity and P90X, right? So 2 big long programs, but I break it up, one in the morning, one in the evening. But I get to do different stuff, or I pick a la carte stuff that I like from P90X2 or P90X3, and I put my own kind of one together. Like this one was shoulders, and arms. So which shoulder and arms do I like out of all three P90Xs? I'll pick that one or something, because I do have my favorites, from each one. But I just can't tell you, right? And I was a guy that would circle the mall before, trying to get the closest spot. I'd spend 30 minutes trying to get 2 spots over versus just, parking and walking. Now it's like, oh man, I'm not even gonna try it. I'm gonna park far. I got my little Fitbit. I now somewhere upwards of 30,000 steps a day. And that's just doing normal stuff plus my runs. Again, I'm 35 miles a week, depending on, what my goals are. If I've got a 10K or a half marathon, my running goals are different for my training and stuff like that. But all that is possible because of the Beachbody stuff. Me losing 180 pounds. I got so much energy. I could do stuff now, I can go take a cycling class at my local gym, that kind of thing. If Beachbody had cycling classes and offered to buy, offered a bike, I might do that. But I mean, to do that kind of different stuff, to be able to do different workouts, which I was not even going to be able to try at 350 pounds, or didn't even want to try. So anyway, I'll stop there if you guys have any questions or anything. So.
That is awesome. Seriously. Thank you so much. I am really, really, thank you for all this great advice. So are you a Beachbody coach yet?
I am, and I'm a fairly new one. So I had my current coach. He's been trying to get me to be a coach for a while, and he's been working me hard. Even before all this, like I won April 2016. So I won over a year ago. I was actually the first month of this competition. I won and forgot about it and stuff. He's been trying to get me to be a coach. And I'm like, no. But the way I look at it now, for where I've been, and I'm a very Christian person. I don't know if anybody on the phone is or not. And it also came up about just being a leadership.
I think every one of us on here are, so.
Yeah, but even lately, I just spent last year in a men's leadership group in my church, and they poured in everything into me and a bunch of other guys to be leaders in our church. We just ended it this past weekend as well, too. So it was the leadership culmination and then the birthday party on Saturday. But the one thing I took away from all this was that if I didn't share this, so it's, again, share my faith and share my fitness journey to kind of inspire at least one of you to continue, don't stop on your journey, I'd be selfish if I didn't share it, right? Like I took and like I did all this, and it's like, well, I'm done, bye. Like I'm good. Like I know what I'm doing now, and I'm gonna go do it. It'd be very selfish of me if I didn't share my story. So that's why I'm sharing. Yeah, I'm in a competition, but I've got stuff scheduled out through July, basically, to talk with people. And to me, it's just, I just got to share it, because I will tell you this, I didn't have my coach at the time. And so, you have a good coach, right? For those of you on the call that have Christy and have the other ones in your upline and everything else, God bless them, because the person I had as my Beachbody coach, I never heard from him. I had an email every now and then, like, hey, we got this promotion. Hey, buy Shakeology. Hey, it wasn't. They didn't have. They probably shouldn't have been a coach. But to have somebody, to be able to have somebody to walk alongside you and share experiences with you and stuff, and that's why I became coach. Was I feel, even if I'm not a very successful one, right? I mean, money wise or anything else, if whoever I have, be able to inspire them, start a journey, continue a journey, say, yeah, you know what? It's not always going to be easy, and sometimes it's going to be damn hard, and you're going to want to quit, and you're going to want to sabotage yourself, and you're going to want to, reward yourself. And all. Now, if I can just be honest with people and say, you know what? If you don't do the exercises, right, you can do the Beachbody on Demand, you can stream whatever workout you love, you can put the disc in, whatever. If you don't give it 100%, just, you can't just show up and do it. You've got to do it, and it won't be easy. And also for the reasons why, if you've got a mixed split household, right, that's even tougher, and I feel for you guys. I can't relate, but I do know people that fall into that, and I've seen it, right, friends and other people as well too. And so I know it's tough, and can you lose 180 pounds? Do you need to? Probably not, but do you need to lose 10 or 20? Maybe. But the thing is, will it take you just as long as me to do it? Maybe. But if you do it right, the needle keeps moving. Some weeks you're not going to see the needle move. I never obsessed over weight loss. I weigh myself once a week, and I could account for, if I didn't lose weight, I could go back and point to something. I had a little more food here, or I did this, especially in the beginning, where I was still kind of like figuring it out or trying to like, well, I still want to eat. But as I started losing the weight, made that decision, I could almost guess how much weight I was going to lose, right? It became almost predictable. But I didn't weigh myself every day, and weigh yourself consistently. If you're going to do it, don't obsess. But if you're going to weigh yourself, do it in the exact same scenario. If you're going to do it first thing in the morning before you eat, do it every week or whatever you're going to do yourself. Do it the same way. Don't eat and weigh yourself, or don't weigh yourself in the evening after you had breakfast and lunch and you drank 100 ounces of water. Good Lord, you're going to be like, what am I doing? I gained weight. Don't drive yourself nuts over it. Please do not do it. If your clothes start fitting better, you're starting to feel more energy. That's how you can kind of start to tell. Because at some point you're going to be building muscle and not necessarily losing inches. But so don't obsess over the scale. I beg you, just don't do that. I never did. It was hard in the beginning, and it took me a while to get a scale. First of all, because scales, there were many scales that could weigh a 350-pound person. Hello, so I think now it's a little bit better today, especially some of like the more, the Fitbit ones and stuff like that. They kind of go up to, I think 350 was like the max, right? So, but don't obsess over that. It's going to be hard. The needle won't always move. Stay the course. One thing it was consistent. I would just say be consistent. Be thankful you have a good coach. And I hope to be that coach for somebody to be able to inspire you and any other team that I talk to just be able to inspire to say, don't quit. Keep on it. Keep streaming the stuff. Keep drinking the protein shakes because you're going to need that protein because you're working out hard. Don't starve yourself, right? Do not starve yourself. It's the worst thing you can do. You still got to eat because if your body thinks you're starving yourself, it will hold on. You will not lose weight because it thinks you're starving. Like if you go long enough, it's going to think, well, I'm not getting any more food. Like I'm holding on to this fat because that's all I have. Believe me, it's a thing, right? Go ahead and eat. Do the workouts, and you will see it come off. Will it be as fast and dramatic as mine? Maybe not, right? And I will admit this. I'm a guy. I think women may have a little harder than guys. I'll admit that, right? So that's just personal experience, right? From just friends, it is tougher, I think, for women in general. But it's not like I just gained the weight and then like I just gained it a year ago and I snapped back. Remember, I was morbidly obese. I was obese for 2 decades of my life, right? And in my 40s, right, when testosterone starts to go down and I'm not at my prime, I was still able to pull it off, And so just take that away, that it's possible, whatever age you are out there, however much pounds you need to lose, if you're just doing it to get healthy and get fit and hopefully lose some weight along the way, do it right, do it slow. There is no magic pill. I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, do this. And I can't tell you how many people, I can't tell you how many people, my close friends, knew me in high school. Still, the birthday party I went to, you get this, the birthday party I went to on Saturday was one of my friends from high school. Him and his wife met him in high school, right? They've been together for 30 years. Their daughter, who I was there for her birth, it was her son's 2nd birthday, right? That's how far back we go. They knew me when I looked like this. They knew me at my heaviest, and they know me now, what I look like now. There are some people in my life that only knew me as the picture you saw. I don't know if you guys have seen the picture. They only knew me as that guy. They didn't know me like this. So all of a sudden, when they saw me at Costco or seen me, they're like, what the heck? Like, some friends that we had seen softball growing up with the girls and stuff, we ran to Costco and my wife was talking to her and she kind of kept looking over at me like, and then finally about 10 minutes in the conversation, she stopped and she said, oh my God, Daniel. And I go, yeah. She goes, I did not recognize you. She goes, I thought something happened to you and Iris and this was her new guy, I was like, no, and then people, I can tell you how many people I actually sat with, right, 2+ years ago, wanting to go to Starbucks. Hey, let me talk. Let's sync up. How'd you do it? And they're sitting there wanting me to say, just do this, and it's so easy, And when I sit there and tell them, this is my struggle, this is what I did, you kind of then see like, I'm not quite ready to hear that yet. They're not quite there to start it. Because it wasn't something I said, oh, just go do this and this, and yeah, no problem. It was like, no, it's hard work. It was determination. So, anyways, I digress.
Okay, we have a question from one of our coaches, Tamara. She said, love what you were saying about the mental changes that had to take place. Is there anything that really helped keep you in the right mindset, books, people, etc.? Great question.
Yeah, it was, I think one of the biggest things was the clothes, how they fit, right? Me having to go back look for the old clothes because my other clothes looked like, they were just swimming on me. And then in some points when I got down low enough, I actually had to go buy new clothes, right? And it got to a point where I was buying clothes and then like shortly after they were too big, you know, but it was the other way. It was like, I didn't mind spending that money because I was going the other way, not going up. And so that's what kept me motivated, right? Was it had been encouragement from my girls, from my wife, from my friends, like, wow, you look great, you look great, you look great, and seeing that and taking the pictures. And actually, a lot of times we look at each other, we don't see it, right? Me, that guy in the picture, I didn't look like that guy to me. Maybe because I didn't look in mirrors a lot of time, but the face really wasn't it. I knew I was fat. I didn't have to check myself in the mirror, but my face, I was used to it. And when I look at that now, I'm like, wow. So I think the pictures, right? At work, I kept that picture in my cube at work, right? And so, and in my man cave at home, in my little office that I'm in now at home, I kept it where I looked at it, and that was my motivation. Was like that. I'm never ever going back to that guy, ever. And so that's the mental thing. But and over the years, my wife, God love her, gently tried to encourage me, and then sometimes she was an outright bitch about me losing weight, right? She would ignore me. She wouldn't show any affection to me. It was the whole gamut of stuff, right? She tried everything. But until it was me, I decided. I made that choice. And then finally she's like, shit, you made that choice? And now we got to go change how we eat, It's like, no more donuts, no more chips. And, it was like, yeah, it just clicked in my head. That was it. But when I made that decision, that was it. There was no turning back. But it was me that had to make the decision, not anybody else dragging me to it. So.
Have another question. Stacy she asked, how long did it take you to lose? I'm not sure if I caught that, and I'll let you answer it.
Yeah. So I started at 350 pounds, and it took me 20 months to lose 180 of that. So I don't know when you joined, but yeah. So I lost 180, and I'm about 175. So I had gotten down to under 170, but it really was, and that was like in my. And I almost couldn't stop it at that point. Like the effects of what I was doing kind of boiled over into 2 weeks. And then I stopped. I'm like, this is it. I didn't want to go anymore because at that point I had reached, which was 170 was my goal. And right now between 170 and 175. But now what I'm doing, it's a little more focused now. What I have, I'm not in a losing weight focus. I want more lean muscle. I'm trying to drop my percent of body fat. Right. So if I end up gaining a little bit of weight, getting up to 175, 180, 185. If I can get down to 14 or 15% body fat, I'm okay with that, right? It's different goals I have now, right? I'm not losing weight. I'm in a different mindset, and I've been trying to figure that out for 2 years. I'm not quite there yet on that formula, right? But it's kind of fun because I get to try different stuff out. So I hope that answers your question. So it took me 20 months.
I actually got kicked off and had to just get back on right when you were answering. So I think I still missed the beginning part of that. Did you say?
Oh, yeah, no problem. So 180 pounds in 20 months, and I've kept it off for the past 2 years. So it's over 2 years I've kept it off. It's not like I just ended it and where I just lost the weight and like, this is it, I just ended yesterday. It's been over 2 years that I've kept it off. So, and I just submitted my Beachbody story last year. It was right around the year mark of my first anniversary before I submitted my story to Beachbody because I wanted to show, wasn't so much to myself, but to show, and probably to myself that I could keep it off, right? And that I had the formula down and I had the mindset to keep it going, but to show everybody else, like, this is not a fluke. Like a lot of people sometimes lose the weight and everybody looks great. And then they think they get in a false sense of security, like, I'm good. And before you know it, they gain 25 pounds because whatever they did, what they were doing, they thought, I got this. And they didn't see it coming. Like all of a sudden what they were doing, they stopped doing it. And so that year mark is when I submitted my story, because I had got the year mark in around February of last year, of 2016, and I submitted my story right shortly after March, and I ended up winning the April 2016 Beachbody one, which was the start of this cycle. So it took me a whole year to wait for this grand to see if I was going to be a finalist, right? It's not like the guy who just won, February of this year. He's not like, yeah, hey, hey, I get to see if I'm a finalist. So it took me a whole year, but here I am, and I think in my heart of hearts, that's one of the reasons why I think I'm a finalist, because I can say I lost more than I currently weigh, and I've kept it off for 2 years. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people can say that, but not a lot of people. I'm not sure how many people in this contest can say that, right? I've kept it off for 2 years. That's something to say right there. That the programs work, that it works, right? And if nothing else, I'm living proof that it works. Stay the course. It's going to be frustrating. You're going to cry. You're going to want to quit. I would just tell you don't, because I did that, for the better part of 2 decades, where I just said, I'm not even going to try. It was, to me, at 350 plus pounds, if you told me that I could lose 100, to try to lose 180 pounds, there was no way you were going to convince me. Because to me, to even try to lose 10 pounds was like trying to take a cup of water out of the Pacific Ocean. You weren't going to notice it was gone. You wouldn't even tell, right? So people couldn't convince me that I was going to be able to like get down to, to some decent health weight that I wouldn't have, this, and I, that could actually be a size. There's no way you could have told me 4 years ago that was even possible. That's because I was telling myself that it wasn't possible. Until I said it is possible, and damn it, I'm going to do it, and do what it takes to do it, and be able to adjust, right? Don't adjust your goal, adjust your route, or adjust the means to get there, but don't change your goal, right? You may go like this and do all this to get there, but just because you're going this way, it's not working, then maybe you got to go find a different path to go do it, right? But don't change your end goal. Change how you get to the goal, or change the means to get to it.
Was that a skip?